The uncivil left out of control again, as two more conservatives were attacked this week by Antifa protesters. So watch what happened to Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk while they just wanted to have some breakfast in Philly on Monday. And don't forget, all of these vicious attacks have been encouraged by Democratic Congresswoman Maxine Waters.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
Joining me now, Communications Director for Turning Point USA, Candace Owens. So, Candace, do you hold Maxine Waters personally responsible for those people coming after you during breakfast?
I hold Maxine Waters responsible, as well as all of the politicians who did not speak out and say that this was wrong. They all remained silent because they are okay with this, because Antifa is their gang. Okay, they condone this behavior all the time. We're seeing that it's increasing. It's happened over and over again, and it's getting more vicious each time that it happens.
So you believe Antifa is indirectly linked to the Democratic Party leadership?
I bet if we did some digging, they would be directly linked to the Democratic leadership.
So you think maybe money is involved?
Yes.
Or you think people are involved and maybe their mere silence publicly encourages this type of behavior, or even more so behind the scenes?
Absolutely. Just so people understand watching, this was 8 a.m. on a Monday morning. All of you guys were able to magically get out of work and dress in Antifa gear, or is this your job?
How did they know you guys were having breakfast there?
So we actually were eating in the cafe, and 4 Antifa members walked in to eat. Like, they were not there to harass us, and when they recognized us, they kept looking back and texting on their phones. We didn't think they were actually going to assemble an army. We thought that they could actually get through breakfast and respectfully disagree on politics without saying anything to one another. But nope, they sent out the bat signal, and this is what happened.
So you guys had someone filming this encounter? Is that where the video's from?
That's correct. We actually had one of our production assistants were there because we were all about to go into a meeting, and we told her immediately start filming, because, you know, if we don't have evidence, they were going to make up an entire story about what happened. So we needed to film every single moment, and we're glad we did.
You know, and the media is whining about the potential violence that is going to become them because of President Trump's rhetoric, when there's actual violence taking place against Trump supporters. So when you're being attacked like that on the street, do you have an understanding that that's happening because of your effectiveness with the free thinker movement?
100% it is. They know exactly who I am, and they feel that they're losing control. They've had a major hold on Black thought for so long. I came around, I'm not the only one, but I think my approach and my style is a little bit different. My communication style is a little bit different, and I've been tremendously effective at getting people to consider different ideas, conservative positions, free markets, capitalism, and they don't like me.
So they see you as a threat. That's why they're harassing you.
100%. They view me as a threat. That's been very clear. It's why they show up when Charlie and I are on campus and we're speaking, and it's why Black Lives Matter protesters come up, because we know the real stats. We know what's going on, and we are going to make sure that every Black person in America is educated so that they know never to let the Democrat Party use us again to do their bidding.
I know you want to talk about something else we found interesting about police brutality against Black people. We have some startling statistics. In 2018, just already, 34 police officers have been shot and killed. Okay, now in 2018, I think so far only 13 unarmed Black Americans have been killed by police. So there's a little bit of a discrepancy. Almost twice as many police officers have been killed than police have killed unarmed Black Americans. What do you make of those statistics?
Oh, I've known these statistics for a very long time, and that's why I attempt to re-educate the Black community about what's actually going on. A police officer is 18.5 times more likely to be shot and killed by a Black man than the other way around, and that is why I vocally support the police. I understand what they're up against. I would never make an excuse and say it's okay when an unarmed Black man is shot by a police officer, but I do understand that those statistics are skewed in an effort to make Black people hate the police officers and do the bidding for the Democratic Party, which I refuse to do.
And some startling statistics came out from a Rasmussen poll. This isn't getting enough play. I think the black support for President Trump was about 15% maybe a year and a half ago. And now, is it at 29%? Who do you attribute that to?
You know what? I think there have been so many people, black conservatives, that are standing up and speaking out finally. We're definitely no longer afraid. And I think that I'm encouraged by seeing all of these YouTubers that speak out. And the one person we can credit for this is President Donald Trump. Thank you for all the tremendous work that you have done to get our community up off of their feet and to give us jobs again. You know, unemployment at an all-time low. You are the man, and we love you, and we will support you.
What about Kanye? Does Kanye get any credit for that?
Kanye gets the credit. He does. He broke the window on culture and made it okay for people to discuss it because so many people weren't paying attention. Kanye put on that MAGA hat. Thank you, Kanye West. Number 2.
All right. Donald with the help of Kanye. Candace, thank you very much.
Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens were brutally harassed by far-left protesters. They were having breakfast at a Philadelphia coffee shop. Watch this. Is now Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA Communications Director Candace Owens, both friends of the show, Pam Bondi, Secretary Nielsen, Sarah Sanders, Melania Trump, Ivanka Trump, a 12-year-old kid, Barron Trump, a 4-year-old granddaughter, Chloe Trump. This is, you know, the media talks about them because they say you suck and they're worried. This was, you actually got physically assaulted. Correct, yeah. Water thrown on myself. They threw an egg at me. And here's the interesting part. Candace and I were just minding our own business. We were just having, you know, quiet breakfast. And they mobilized within 20 or 30 minutes, at least 50 of them, came into the restaurant, started calling Candace a Nazi, which I can't quite figure out how on earth they would come to that conclusion. Racial comments made too, right? Absolutely. What were they said? What did tell everybody? Not just to me, also to the police officers. This was a primarily black police force. This is Philadelphia. There was only one white police officer. The rest were black and Hispanic. They called us race traitors. They were saying F the police, and they were saying that all police are racist, despite the fact that this was an all-white group, Antifa, facing an all-black police force, and myself, telling us essentially that we had to go. I did notice that you both kept your cool, and you stayed out. You were not going to go back in. I would probably, if I was there, I would have stayed out because I'm a lunatic, but I would have advised you guys to go inside. Well, but you felt it was important not to. Well, they drove us out of the restaurant, and Candace and I said, you know what, let's just stand here for a couple minutes and show them that we're not going to back down. We're very peacefully. We're not going to retaliate if things get thrown at us. Little did we know we actually have stuff thrown at us. But look, we don't want to play the victim card here. That's what the left does all the time. Instead, not the victim card, but this is... Use this as a warning. This is what's called on by Maxine Waters. That was our first reaction. Wait a minute. Get in their face. Get in their face in grocery stores, in the mall, if I remember correctly. In restaurants, she said. In restaurants. Yeah, so this is Maxine Waters America, and we felt it was an important moment to show America exactly what we are fighting, because not many people understand this is real. They've grown increasingly violent because they understand that they are losing. They're losing a lot of turf. Is this, when I first met you, I did say what Charlie said, because he thinks he discovered you. Okay, you didn't discover. She was a star under me. I did say I saw a great future for both of you, to be fair. Has there been a lot of this? When they're expecting us, yes. If we're on campuses, of course. If we're going to give us a talk anywhere, of course. But this was unusual because we weren't at a Trump rally. We weren't on a campus. We were simply having coffee in a coffee shop. So sad. Yeah. You know, and Sarah Sanders' kids thrown out of a restaurant. You know, I don't talk about it. I know the left. I said last week, I'd be the first to jump in. If I'm at an event and anybody laid a hand on even Jim Acosta, I train an hour and a half a day mixed martial arts. I fight, and it's real fighting. Mm-hmm. And I would defend anybody against physical violence, but it's not the same if you're using words. Here, they actually chased you out of the restaurant, and you were physically really assaulted.
That's correct. And we made the decision not to press charges because, look, we're not going to try to do what the left would do and try to create martyrs, so on and so forth. Instead, what we want to do is focus on, as a warning sign to the American people, that if the Democrats take back Congress, you're going to be electing these radicals.
Well, those are the
to be
people that want to impeach the president.
That's correct.
They want open borders, eliminate ICE, keep Obamacare. They want their crumbs back, and they want these investigations to stop.
That's exactly right. And they had a bullhorn, and they were very close to my face, screaming in my ear. It was reminiscent of the civil rights era. This is what you would expect at the civil rights era if a black woman was dining at a restaurant.
You know, you've been through a lot, though. This is not the first time. It seems that race comes up a lot because you happen to be conservative. And you happen to be an African-American.
That's correct.
This is Deneen Borelli's book. Remember I mentioned it to you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, read Google my name, and the most horrific names come up.
That's correct, because
her.
liberals believe that they own blacks still. They believe that there is something proprietary about being black in this country. And if you deviate from the way that they want you to think and the way that they want you to act, they grow violent.
And it's changing. Did you see the poll, Rasmussen?
I did.
You had predicted this to me.
I did. I said there's going to be a major black exit from the Democratic Party because we're starting to figure it out. We're looking at the history, which they've wiped, and we are realizing that the Democratic Party was always racist.
Record low unemployment, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, 14 states. That's good for our fellow citizens. And you know what else?
Americans.
It ought to be what happened in Chicago, just to dovetail. If we don't declare this a national emergency, that literally our American family is being gunned down in the streets and nobody's doing anything to help our national treasure.
Because they're not illegal aliens. If these were illegal alien children that were gunned down, illegal alien children that were separated because they lost their fathers,
think of the outrage over that.
They would
71.
Be outraged.
But you know what? Nobody wants separation of children, and Donald Trump fixed that.
Correct.
But 71 people shot in a weekend.
Right.
And it went on all through the Obama years. What?
With the strictest gun laws in America.
No celebrities came out talking about this whatsoever, and it's because these were Americans.
You both are very brave and courageous.